So I'm going to give you a little bit of background information as this video is going. This is the first day in a while that I've been able to actually videotape. I don't like to videotape every time I do it, or every time I fly, I should say. Uh, I like to fly them and then cut to the best sections, if you want to call it. And I'll even slow some down near the end here. I'll put them in what I consider the better roll. I'll put a couple of those up on here also in slow motion so you get a little better idea what they're doing. My birds usually, as a rule, fly about 25 to 35 minutes every time they're let out. And I actually don't want them to fly any longer than that. I know lots of people probably do, and that's okay. I'm just flying quite a few kits, and I prefer to fly smaller kits because then when I do videotape them, I think I can, spot the best ones a lot easier when with small kits. So probably my favorite is 3 and 5s. If you can fly them in those amounts, or that amount of birds, they seem to fly better, I guess. I do have some other projects that I'm experimenting with, even to do with feed and stuff too. So many little variables that can happen along the way as you start trying different things. And maybe I take it too serious, and I'm a little bit eccentric, I guess, but I liked it. For me personally, I like a little bit more roll. Like the single flips and double flips are okay, and I'll keep a few of those birds around just because they're usually quite consistent and do it a lot. So then I hope that they inspire the ones that are really good to perform better. If I ever get to the point where I have lots of 3-bird and 5-bird kits that all the birds are good, then I guess that's how I'm building my teams. I guess is just taking the best that I can and just adding to it. And I really don't want any kits except young birds that are more than 5 birds. I just find they seem to fly better. Now these 3 that you're watching right now are 3 hens, and they're all just going to become yearlings here pretty quick. So they're the only 3 yearling or under yearling hens that I've kept flying. And again, I'm still building, so there's one in here in particular that is the best for me. I'm not saying for everybody, but for me, I like a little bit more, like I said, 2-3 rolls and some twists and turns in there too. So there's one in here that could eventually be a breeder. We'll just see how my other breeders do. And like I said, I'm trying to get down to maximum of 6 pairs of breeders, and that way I can hone in on hopefully the best characteristics that I'm looking for. Now I'm not saying that maybe you want something different out of them. So I'm just trying to find what I like, and for me personally, maybe it's my Birmingham background. I do like a little bit more roll, but I really do like just the deep dropping and doing weird plate spins and stuff like that. If you can get a bird that does it all, that's great. So far they've been far and few between for me. So this is the 3 that I kept flying and will be the basis for either they'll stay as a 3-bird team or maybe possibly get built up to a 5-bird team, depending on how they fly together too. I find that there's a few birds that they perform well, but they just don't kit in that particular kit. So then I'll split them up into smaller kits and experiment. As you'll see, on this video, I'm also going to show a pair that I'm flying as just a pair, and their feeding program is totally different. So I'm trying to gauge what seeds, and it may sound ridiculous, but I think the feed makes so much difference in how long they fly, even how high they fly. And to give you an example, these 3 hens are pretty well on a straight red spring wheat diet. I give them a treat of a little bit of mix every once in a while, but not very often, and they're kept on a pretty strict diet. So that's why I feel I get about 30 minutes, on average out of them. And this is all shot in one day, just so you know. This video is, the footage I'm showing on here now is going to be around 7 minutes long, and there was some other footage, but it was, say, all blurry and stuff like that. And then plus I needed a rest in between. My neck and stuff gets sore doing this more than 20 minutes or even 10 minutes at a time. So I'm just trying to get some footage, and that way I can base my next breeding birds and what I keep for performers. Another thing is that these are split into yearling cockbirds and hens. So like I said, this is the hens, and hopefully I'll have one. I have actually 5 cockbirds, and out of those 5, 3 are starting to perform pretty good. I'll show those on a later video. For now, I'm just going to concentrate on these to show you. And also you'll see the pair that I'm flying to, and that's an experiment that I'm doing as far as I'm keeping that one pair on regular feeding, and I'm going to use them as kind of droppers or leaders too for all my young birds when I start flying them. And as of this video, I've got probably 10 babies in the nest now. They're just starting to pin out. So hopefully I'll get some more good video footage. The other thing I like about these hens too is they'll fly lower and then they'll go up really high too. They've been chased by quite a few of the little falcons. One of these birds, actually the better one of the 3 that I like the best anyhow, she actually got chased down probably a day before I did this video. And of course she came right down towards me, which was good because she must know that if she's near a human, that falcon's not going to get her. And thank goodness she didn't bang into anything too hard. Like she did hit the side of the loft, but she had slowed down good, so she never got hurt, thank goodness. So I can babble, like I said, some of this stuff is just babble of what I see in my birds, and hopefully it helps somebody else. And if you have any ideas or ways that you're flying your birds, I'd sure like to know about it. I love reading about it. And my email address is on this video. I prefer the emails private rather than just putting them up on there, just so we can discuss certain aspects that maybe other people don't like. So whatever you feel, if you got time, give me an email. I love hearing from different people that are raising these birds. And again, I'm trying to get a club here right in Canada. It's going to take me a while, I think, to find enough people to warrant having a club. We do have a Facebook page, and there's a few of us that are members right now. So.
Good girls.
Okay, this is some of the slow motion stuff, and the reason I wanted to slow it down is then you can see the multiple rolls, and also in this particular video right now you'll see that all 3 are actually doing something. It's just quite often the eye only catches the one bird doing anything. Should be coming up here. There's, yeah, you can see the one with the white wings is just doing whole, almost just dropping a bit while the other one's doing something. And here I think all 3 actually get involved. Yep, you can see all 3 do something, right? So that's kind of cool. It's like one is inspiring the next. That's what I really like to see, is when all 3 are working against each other, I guess. Okay, this is the red and the black I was telling you about. Now the black, he is a 2-year-old. I pulled him out of the main 5-bird kit. I was flying 6 at the time, but he kept not staying in the kit. So I thought, well, I'll start him just because I love the way he's just such an acrobat and clown. And I thought I'll just keep him, and made him to this red hen that's just barely a yearling. And she was another kind of misfit from the 3-bird kit. Like I was flying 4 and 5, and then I slowly weaseled it down to 3. And she just wouldn't stay with the kit. Okay, this is another slow motion of the pair, just to show how they enjoy just flying. And I consider these 2 kind of like clowns, and that's probably the best thing I like about these birds is they do some unique maneuvers, that's for sure. You can see even behind the trees they're going to do a little bit here. Like she's dropping, and then if you watch just by the wire, he's doing another flip in there. And they look like they're lower than they really are. So these 2 seem to really be clowns and just love to fly and drop and do a few spins. And again, they're still both pretty young. They could end up being breeders. We'll see how they go. But for now, I'm definitely just going to use them as droppers and, you know, birds to get my young birds flying. I find that if I can get them through the first season and with no injuries or anything like that, then they'll fly great, and I hardly ever lose a bird after that.